Hi, here we are, video 2 of our final practical exam. Just as before, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wash our hands. I removed all jewelry from my hands, including my favorite 3 bracelets and my ring. Making sure to use soap and warm running water. You want to make sure you get behind your knuckles, around your wrists, and in between your fingers. Shake off the excess water. Pat your hands dry with a clean paper towel. As you can see, my hands are clean and we're ready to go. Okay, here we have our pork tenderloin. When it comes to the pork tenderloin, you do want to make sure that you are removing that silver skin that's on there. It's literally skin that is silver. You can't miss it. It's very tough, not digestible, not very pleasant to eat. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off all this excess. This is just some excess, I don't know, membrane that happened to be on the tenderloin. But what I'm going to do to attack this silver skin is I'm going to stick the tip of my knife underneath it. And I'm going to make sure that I run the knife, the edge of the knife along the silver skin. So that way we remove as much silver skin as possible while maintaining the amount of meat that we still have on the tenderloin. So you'll see here I'm just slowly picking up as I go, getting little tabs of silver skin and then cutting it all the way down. And now you'll see me removing excess membranes, maybe some excess fat here. Okay, and it looks like we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna season our tenderloin, and we're gonna let it sit for a little while, a couple minutes. After about half an hour, that's what my tenderloin looked like, all seasoned up. We're gonna go ahead and pop that in the oven I think it was in the oven for about 40 minutes or so at about 350 degrees. Moving on to our asparagus. I love asparagus, but I hate that stringy skin that's on the bottom end of it. So what I do is I take a peeler and I just run it along the bottom half of the asparagus sticks, just so that way when it cooks, there's nothing really kind of interfering with my ability to enjoy the food in a sense. And there we have 5 beautiful sticks of asparagus. And we're just going to drop that into some boiling water and we're going to let that cook. I think I let that cook anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute. I like to keep my vegetables crunchy. So what I'm doing is I'm only cooking it very quickly. This is called blanching. So I'm going to blanch the asparagus, and as you can see here, I'm shocking it in some cold water to stop that cooking process. Especially because we're going to go ahead and we're going to cook up this asparagus again, but you'll see that in a few moments. All right, onto our orzo. We have some clarified butter in the pan, and I went ahead and I added some small diced onions and minced garlic that I had in the fridge. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to sweat these, and what that is just slowly cooking it so that the onions start to caramelize, not necessarily in terms of changing color, but just sweetening up the natural sugars in there, as well as releasing some beautiful flavor that we're gonna need because we don't have any stock to add to our orzo today. So we're gonna put our orzo in the pan next, and what we're gonna do with the orzo is same as with the onion. You're gonna mix everything up, making sure that each pasta grain is evenly coated with oil that has been, infused in that onion and garlic. And we want to get these orzo noodles nice and toasty. Okay, what you're going to see me do here in just a moment is add a little bit of water. At this point, you kind of want to add vegetable stock or chicken stock or whatever flavorful liquid that you have available. I didn't have any available, so I'm just using water. But in order to kind of combat that, I'm going to go ahead and season my orzo in just a few moments. But before I do that, what you'll see here is just I'm adding only a little bit of water because it's almost like a risotto method where maybe for like the first or second times, I think I did it 3 times here, I just added a little bit of liquid and I waited until the orzo absorbed all that liquid, and then I added a little bit more, waited until the orzo absorbed it up, and I think after the 3rd time I finished by putting the rest of my liquid into the orzo pan and letting it absorb all the liquid. As you can see, I went ahead and I seasoned it with some garlic salt and sazon. I love the sazon. It has a nacho seed in it, and that gives it some really nice color. Okay, onto our asparagus. Same as before, take some oil in the pot and slightly sweat some onions. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put our asparagus directly in the pot. We're going to season it with a little bit of garlic salt, black pepper, and red chili flake. You can't see the thermometer entirely well, but my tenderloin is coming in at about 155 degrees, and that thermometer has not budged in about 15 to 20 seconds. So I believe that is an accurate reading. We're going to go ahead and we're going to slice our tenderloin on a bias. And we slice it this way to maintain the tenderness of the tenderloin. If we were to slice the tenderloin along the grain, it would be a little bit harder to eat. So after we sliced, we're going to go ahead and plate. Starting with our orzo, we're going to go ahead and put that in the middle of the plate. Typically at this point, you do want to make sure that you have some gloves. You're currently handling ready-to-eat food. I don't have single-use gloves at home. Luckily, it's just me cooking at home. But when you are cooking for the general public, you do want to make sure you have gloves on for ready-to-eat food. I went ahead and I placed the 3 slices of tenderloin on top of the orzo and very gently placed my asparagus right next to it. And here we have the finalized product.